is the first Sunday of October. Can you believe it?
I know.
That's crazy.
Yep, Mariah, she's on the way. She is defrosted.
Listen, come here, 4 weeks.
We've got her in the sink, run under the cold tap.
4 weeks. We're 4 weeks from that. The TV, music, and cooking channel's going to air.
Oh my.
What do you mean? The Christmas?
The Christmas music and cooking channels will be on our TVs in less than 4 weeks.
Thanks, Martin.
Sorry about that, lads.
Anyway.
Mariah is on the way.
For the next
She's on
3
the way.
hours, you're with us and you're watching Ireland AM.
Yes, coming up on today's show, forget the end of the year. We'll do today. Let's do it now. It's like something out of a movie script, but there's a story today about Vladimir Putin's secret agent in the Oireachtas. And the Ireland Thinks poll reveals what the public think about the government's so-called giveaway budget. We'll have those stories and more when we take a closer look at the papers in about 15 minutes.
In sport, Liverpool stay top of the league and Munster are back to winning ways. We'll have all of that and more a little later in the show.
Plus, we are keeping you warm over on the catwalk. We're going to be showing you how to make the most of your favourite autumn-winter staples.
And we need the jacket, so.
Oh,
Yeah, do you know what's getting cold?
few.
It's getting
Chilly.
And she's a legend of Irish TV. Actor and Glenroe fan favourite Geraldine Plunkett will be stopping by a little bit later on.
Okay, Irish Rugby 7 sensation Terry Kennedy will be giving us the inside scoop on life in the Olympic Village, what really goes on behind the scenes.
Plus, another candidate to add to the mix. Later on, broadcaster, writer and all-round Irish national treasure, Mary Kennedy, will be stopping by.
So a busy morning ahead. Do stay with us. And
Right, let's check in your Sunday papers. We'll start with the front page of the Sunday Independent. Its headline reads, Poll Nation wants an election next month. The paper goes on to report that more than half of the public want a general election before the end of November, according to their latest poll.
on the front of the Business Post this morning, it opens with not boom and bust. Taoiseach rejects stinging budget criticism. It writes that Simon Harris has flatly rejected accusations his coalition's bumper pre-election budget marks a return to the ruinous Celtic Tiger-era tax and spending packages overseen by Bertie Ahern.
The Sunday Times lead with revealed Putin has an agent in the Oireachtas. It reports that the Irish military and security services have identified a politician in the Oireachtas who has been recruited by Russian intelligence as an agent of influence and whose clandestine connections to Moscow remain intact.
On to the tabloids now, and the Irish Mail on Sunday opens with Gardaí raised threat level for ministers. It writes that the security threat level to Taoiseach Simon Harris and cabinet members has escalated from moderate to substantial now in advance of the general election campaign.
The Sun on Sunday leads with prison murder probe. It writes that Gardaí have launched a murder probe after a prisoner was stabbed and beaten to death in Cloverhill prison yesterday.
The Irish Sunday Mirror leads with the same story there, with the headline "Shivved in his cell." It adds that one of the man's cellmates was also slashed.
Sunday World puts drugs baron is back on its front page. The paper reports that cocaine kingpin Philip Barron has returned to Ireland to set up a construction business after completing half of his 18-year prison sentence for drugs trafficking.
And that's a lot then this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Morning.
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 Good to see you.
You too, babes.
Now, we were chatting earlier on today, and did you know RSVP just revealed that Sean is the most mispronounced name worldwide?
Sean.
Sean.
How
Sean
can
is
you
fairly easy,
mispronounce
isn't it?
Sean?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, right, so obviously in America they would write it S-H-A-W-N.
Yeah.
But we
Americans.
spell S-E-A-N. Yeah, I know. But so obviously I actually get my name mispronounced a lot.
Go on.
Brooke.
Yeah.
Brooke.
But see, you nearly put 2 syllables on it. Whenever I say it, I say Brooke. And people hear, they're like, brick?
Brick.
Brick. And I'm like, no, really? No, there's a more obvious one closer.
Brick Scullion.
Closer.
You should be playing fullback for Derry.
Brick Scullion. She was anyway, sorry, go on. She was unbelievable. You couldn't get through her. She was amazing.
Most fullback, yeah. No, but whenever I'm talking to people, I usually take on their accent to say my name.
Yeah, that's a good idea, yeah, to make it easier for them.
Yeah, because it's one syllable. So then if I was talking to people from Dublin, I'd say, oh, Brooke.
Yeah.
Do you know, just to get, because yeah.
Or like you were saying with Sean with the W in the middle of it, you could do Brooke.
Brooke.
So hang on, so Sean is the most mispronounced. Is that it? Because it's probably so common that it's like it's a very common name.
Yeah.
So therefore it's the most pronounced. I know Maureen gets it all the time. Like every time she's introducing herself to a guest, she needs to say it slowly, really, really slowly, so that they understand it, particularly if they're not from Ireland.
Kira.
Kira.
Ciara. In America. Ciara.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly Irish names then, really. Is it us?
Quiva.
Maybe it's us. It's not
yeah.
them. the big one, Saoirse Ronan.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the
you
amount
remember?
of times.
What's his name? Dennis. Was it Dennis Quaid? Trying to say her name?
Saying Saoirse Ronan. Yeah. Well, have you watched... one of the talk shows in America made a supercut of all of the times that interviewers in America mispronounce Saoirse Ronan's name, and that's the whole topic of conversation with her. Anyway, Sean is the number one. Your mispronunciations, is your name mispronounced? Allow us to mispronounce your name.
Yeah, please. That would be...
on Ireland AM this morning. What's the text? Is there...
089 611 is how you can get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you.
Lovely.
We'll have more on what's making headlines in this morning's papers. That's coming up right after this break. Welcome back. Vladimir Putin's secret agent in the Oireachtas, and the people have their say about the latest budget in today's Ireland Thinks poll.
Joining us with the latest on these stories, we have Irish Times reporter Shauna Bowers and chief reporter with Bauer Media, Barry White. You're both very welcome. Good morning.
Morning.
Thanks for getting up and joining us this morning. I suppose anyone, particularly in political circles, it was all about the budget earlier this week, Shauna, and the polls this morning, getting a sense of how the public are reacting to the budget. All good?
Yeah, well, it's been described as a giveaway budget, and I think most people feel they've gotten something out of it. But I think a lot of people kind of do view it as, oh, we're getting an election soon, and they're trying to buy some votes. And that was kind of seen in the results of the poll in the Sunday Independent today. A lot of people are quite anxious to know, when is this going to happen, and will you just feckin' tell us when it's going to happen, and things like that. So there's a lot of talk around November, but Micheál Martin, the Taoiseach, has kind of said February. Taoiseach Simon Harris has kind of said next year as well. So there's a lot still up in the air about when it will take place, but I think most people are kind of thinking it'll be in the next couple of weeks.
Let's just do it. Let's get it out of the way. In terms of the reaction to the budget itself, Barry, OK, giveaway budget, and that's been a lot of the narrative about it. Are people broadly happy with what they've gotten out of it in their pocket?
Well, I think people are broadly happy, but 3/4 of people who were questioned for this poll say they think the government are trying to buy the election.
Whether 26% of those were Sinn Féin voters.
Yeah, although, you know, it's high for Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil as well, voters, but is that going to be a negative if the election is called next month? I don't think it will be. People have money in their pockets, and I think that's why I think the election will be next month, because it's the best time to go for Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil. Next month will be their best chance of getting back in.
Well, they're hot.
I think, strike while the iron's hot. The longer they go on, I think the more their chances will decrease of getting back into government. You know, February, March, a few months is a long time in politics. A day is a long time in politics.
Yeah, and it could happen.
And January is the longest month of the year, and people are feeling the pinch.
You look at Sinn
Christmas.
Féin. Sinn Féin are on 19% in this poll. It wasn't so long ago they were on 37%. So like they've dropped, you know, massively in the space of a year now. So I know Simon Harris, the Taoiseach, and the Taoiseach, Micheál Martin, they speak to the media almost every day now. They're everywhere. They've been asked every day, is the election going to be next month? They keep saying no. I'm 99% sure that will be next month now at this stage. I think the reason we're seeing the Taoiseach and the Taoiseach out every day as well is because it's tactical. They're in the media every day. They're being seen everywhere. Once the election's called, every party leader has to be given the same amount of time, whether it's on TV, on the radio, or whether it's in the papers. Yeah. So I think they're kind of taking advantage now. It's tactical. Let's get our faces out there everywhere before we actually call this.
Yeah, OK. There was a sort of a thing where, like, we said we were going to leave it till next year. Now we might be accused of being disingenuous if we call it early. The poll could actually be an opportunity for them to go, well, it seems like the public want us to go early, so now is our chance to pull the trigger on it, and we'll go ahead and do it. Some other items being covered in the same polling. One headline actually in the papers this morning was the government rejecting the notion that we're getting into a boom and bust cycle again, Sean. Well, you know, like, it's all spend, but there's a risk of overheating the economy there. They've been warned about that.
They have, yeah. The Irish Fiscal Advisory Council, they warned that, you know, we're getting into bad habits here. And we've seen this before. And, you know, it's a common across the world. We do get into boom bust cycles. And it was a giveaway budget. You know, a lot of money was spent. There's a lot of uproar around the €9 million on the phone pouches and things like that. So I think that probably doesn't help them in terms of public perception of needless spending, because a lot of parents, a lot of students, and even schools themselves say that money could have been invested better rather than pouches for mobile phones.
There's an awful lot of children on the spectrum who don't have school places, and they're saying that's where that money could have gone to accommodate them. So, yeah, there is a little bit of feeling, especially among the the 18 to 34s that the money was badly spent.
But I think they're the most affected by the housing crisis as well. A lot of like young adults, i.e. people in their 20s, are still living at home with their parents. Like I lived alone with my parents for far more years than I wanted to, even though I adore them and I love them. But you can't be an adult when you're still in your box room that you've been in since you're 5 years old, you know? So they're probably the ones who feel the pinch the most when it comes to rent, wage stagnation, not being able to buy their own homes and things like that.
Yeah, and that's an ongoing issue. We were very excited
everybody's
about
been
this.
talking
Martin's
about
looking
this
forward to
morning.
the Netflix adaptation.
I reckon it's going to be a 10-part series.
Or it's not going to be Netflix. It's not Virgin Media Television, of course. This is Putin's agent in the Oireachtas, Barry. There's a lot of excitement about this. It's a spicy story. How excited should we be?
I don't know. When I seen this last night, I was excited when I seen the headline. You know, the Irish military and security service identifying a member of the Oireachtas who is acting as a Russian agent. But the more you read into the story, I'm a bit like, is this a bit of a nothing story? Because they're saying that the member of the Oireachtas who was approached, do they have any access to any private information that they can pass over? It says they don't. Did any money go into their bank account from Russia? It also says they don't. And when you go into the article, it says they also did not commit any crime, so they won't be arrested for this. But it does say that Russia have approached a TD. They tried to use a honeypot, so they tried to use a woman to trick them into giving information, which is it's a bit of a sexy story. It's a sexy headline, but the more you read into it, I'm like, is it that great of a story? There's also a line in the story where it says that this politician told the Russians that, I'll go speak to paramilitaries, even though I've no access or never met any paramilitaries in the north.
Right.
That's kind of, how much of this is...
Well, it's an exciting one to
But
read.
it does also mention ego, so it sounds like this is a politician with quite an ego who went, oh, yeah, I've access to information. Yeah, I know paramilitaries, even though they don't.
Right.
So,
well, you said a TD. Is it a TD? Well,
it's a member of the
Oireachtas. We're
Oireachtas,
assuming
TD or a senator, but we don't know who it is.
But they're not named,
But I tell you what, they've got a name. They've been given a name, Cobalt.
Yes,
Cobalt,
which really screams Netflix adaptation, to be fair,
We're all putting in our pitches now for some of that Netflix money.
But they did approach this person with the plan to kind of disrupt things between ourselves, the UK and the EU, so that attention is taken away from Ukraine.
Yeah, well, regardless of the extent to which this individual has knowledge, like, it doesn't really come as a surprise. Senior Gardaí for recent months have been saying Russia is a country they are aware of conducting spying activities within Ireland. China's another country they've mentioned. And you see many movies about Russian spies. So, like, if you think about it, it doesn't really come as a surprise that they're trying. We don't know whether they've been successful.
It's all well and good as well, us laughing and joking about it, but it just goes to show what's going on. You kind of be thinking, sure, we're just a tiny little rock on the edge of Europe, and sure, nobody's looking at us, and who'd be bothered trying to spy on us? Yeah. But it goes to show the extent to which they're prepared to go for influence and disruption. Final story this morning, Barry. This is Sinn Féin, as we're heading into elections. This is the last thing Sinn Féin wants. Is this Michael McGonigal story is rumbling on? Could you just give us the gist of the story as it's gone so far?
Michael McGonigal was a Sinn Féin press officer. He's facing allegations of child sex abuse. There's 14 charges. He has pleaded guilty to them, but I think the timeline's important here, so just have it written down the timeline. McMonigal was first arrested in August 2021. He was then suspended from Sinn Féin the following day. There was devices then lifted by the PSNI. But he was then, after this, he was then provided with references by two other senior Sinn Féin press officers. He got a job with the British Heart Foundation that they gave the references. He got the job, and then he was at an event in February 2023 at Stormont, and there was other Sinn Féin people at this event. The First Minister, Michelle O'Neill, was there. Michael McMonigal was there. Sinn Féin were saying they didn't know anything about this, but it shows that 14 months before he actually got this job and the references were given, that Sinn Féin did know about this. Now, how damaging will this be for Sinn Féin? I'm not sure. How much attention do we pay to stories in the north? I remember the Bobby Story funeral was massive up north. The news was all over the news for months. It didn't really pick up such traction down here. I think if it was a Sinn Féin press officer down here and it was a similar story, it would be more damaging for Sinn Féin. But the fact that we're now speaking about this today, I was at a doorstep with the Taoiseach on Friday. He was being asked about this. I think Mary Lou McDonald's going to have to come out and make a statement regarding this. She may have to in the Dáil this week because it's really starting to pick up traction and it is damaging. It's very, very serious allegations.
Yeah, and it goes back to the observation you made that, in terms of our first story about the poll, that Sinn Féin are going to be looking at those numbers and thinking, how do we drive them higher? This is the last thing they need at this moment.
I think, as you say in the poll, I think Sinn Féin are on around 18, 19, 20%. And the last number of polls as well, they're just sticking in that number now, and I don't think they're going to go much higher. Their chances of winning the next election seem very, very slim.
Wow, and to think, particularly after the last election, the way we were talking about the surge and how they should have run more candidates. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a lovely rest of your Sunday. Cheers, Shauna and Barry. And after the break, we'll be taking a look at the back pages, talking football and rugby. Do stay with us.
You're very welcome back to Ireland AM. Now, as the weather gets colder, it's time to break out those favourite knits that we're all itching to wear this season. Stylist Mandy Maher is here to show us how to get the most out of our favourite autumn-winter staples. Good morning.
Good morning, Brooke. Happy Sunday.
You look unreal, by the way.
Thank you very much, but you're just being kind because you saw me rough and ready outside the door at what was that, 6 this morning. But anyway, we won't go there.
We both walked in this morning, as long as we weren't filmed at
you're
that
still
stage, we were
beautiful,
grand.
not at all. So we've got great looks this morning for you, coming from Carrick-Dunn, but it's actually a mixture of clothes we have from dressy wear right through to something that's more for day looks.
OK, perfect.
So
let's see the first one.
So
Now, we've
first
got
look,
Mary Lee.
that's right, we've Mary Lee. So this is all about spicing up your autumn wardrobe, and it is a little bit dressier, as we can see here on this gorgeous outfit.
Oh, lovely.
So we're going to start off, I think, with the jewellery, Brooke, this morning first, because it's all about making that little bit of statement with jewellery. I'm a huge fan of beautiful jewellery because you can never go wrong with it. That's why I love jewellery, because you can mix and match with the pieces too.
Is that like clear and black?
Absolutely, we just literally got a golden little beaded black drop earring, which I love. And what I always mention about earrings in particular is because they're not heavy, and I think that's something very important. You know that sometimes with earrings they can be over heavy and just not comfortable, whereas they're beautiful. But look at this matching chain, it's like fabulous.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, it is. Obviously, it's a very much a statement piece. And what that would actually be beautiful is with, as well as a gorgeous white shirt.
Yeah. That really would. And do you know, I've been matching my golds and silvers together as well, so all bringing that in, the colours.
And that's going to be huge for the season too, which rightly so, it's a good idea as well.
This jacket.
The jacket. Of course, the suedette jackets, Carrick-Dunn are well known for their suedette jackets because they have them in a variety of colours. They literally bring them out every season as well in different colours. Because it's just something you know yourself when you want to pop on a light jacket, look fashionable, but yet at the same time it's light, it's easy, you can wear it with jeans, very versatile.
Now this dress.
Very much a statement dress, because obviously we still have a lot of occasions coming up and a lot of weddings, winter weddings coming up. This could be a great little dress for that.
I just had one on Friday.
Oh,
so done me.
Yeah, so this is exactly for someone that's going to come up for obviously Christmas as well, which could be a great idea. But I'm loving the style of this dress, because a dress like this will suit all figures, and I think that's what's really important, because it's cinching at the waist, beautiful V neckline and a gorgeous drop.
That's actually very classy, the way the ruche is at the front. You wouldn't know it's like in a banded at the back.
Yeah, isn't it beautiful?
Yeah,
I'm loving it. I love the style of this. Of course, I'm a big fan of the long sleeve and the pockets. Who doesn't love pockets? We all love pockets, of course.
Of course.
And then we just literally matched up then with a gorgeous little clutch bag.
Beautiful, and those jackets never go out of style, so if you buy one, you have it in your wardrobe for...
You absolutely would, Brooke, and that's what I love about that, because that would even be gorgeous with a gorgeous t-shirt.
And it's warmer than you think.
Absolutely, for sure.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Very classy. Here we go.
Absolutely. And again, like that, what I'm loving about this is that, to me, it's a real First Lady style look, but also it's a nice alternative from the black. That's what I'm loving about the dress.
And it's not navy. It's actually kind of a
It's like a midnight blue, absolutely. But of course, we kept the jewellery then, as you can see here with these earrings. If we start with those, is that they're beautiful, simple, again, very, very simple drop earring. And I'm loving them because Carrick-Dunn have an unbelievable collection of jewellery. And as I said, accessories are key when it comes to really finishing off styling outfits, to remember that when you're styling.
Especially when you've got such a gorgeous dress, you don't want to take away from it.
Absolutely,
like a necklace wouldn't be...
I would go, you need absolutely minimal jewellery with this bar. Your earrings, keep it very simple. As you can see, a gorgeous skirt line on this as well. It also does have pockets, which again I think is very flattering.
Does it have pockets?
Yeah, it does. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, I'm loving this. Absolutely, and it's very classic. I'm loving the bow detail, of course, as well on the coming down just the front of that particular dress. Very, very feminine. Then we just finished up with this gorgeous clutch bag.
Beautiful.
Now with the clutch bag, we carrying it like this, we style it this way, but there is a gorgeous gold chain in that as
Is
well.
there inside?
Yeah.
I always look for that.
Yeah, me too. And you know, because you
lose
can also wear a
everything.
crossbody as well, and forever losing things too. But a very classical look.
It is
Loving
classical.
colour.
And it looks like the way the skirt falls is quite complimentary
Yes,
as well.
absolutely. And in particular, if you're a curvy shape, a dress like that would be absolutely amazing.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Sarah in the red. Gorgeous.
Yeah, we were just saying, I know you nearly hate mentioning it with the autumn, but it is going to be coming into the Christmas season as well with this. But anyway, with the colouring on this.
And a biker jacket as well is gorgeous.
Isn't it gorgeous, Brooke?
is, yeah.
Absolutely loving this as well. And again, like that, we kept, because of what's going on with this particular outfit, we kept the jewellery very, very simple. It's all from night and day, the jewellery. Beautiful earrings, a gorgeous chain, as we can see here as well, and a little bracelet matching. Again, it's keeping the jewellery to a minimum, because also I will mention with accessories is that it can either make or break an outfit. Always remember that when you're styling, because sometimes you might need to take away a piece as well.
And the jewellery actually is gorgeous. It's so simple. I love a fine jean.
Me too. I think it looked very, very feminine. The jacket. Who doesn't like biker style jackets, Brooke? We all love a biker style jacket, and in particular, I'm loving this. It's a beautiful soft leather, and again, like that, we went with this more rock chic look for this particular styling. You could easily, obviously, wear that jacket with lots of other pieces that you already have.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I've never really seen the gold zip on a...
Yeah. No, you're correct. You're dead right.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, it is more the silver you would go, but it's with the gold hardware that we went with this morning, which is nice too for a change.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Now, underneath this, you see this beautiful dress with this gorgeous little ruffle sleeve, cap sleeve, as we can see, which is great because it just covers the top of the arms, which I really, really like. Again, loving the style on this and the drop on that dress as well, because it's very, very flattering.
It is, and it's cinched in at the highest part, isn't it?
It sure is. And what I also want to mention as well, that the dresses in these and the clothes we're showing this morning come in sizes small right through to XXL.
Brilliant.
So it's something nice for people to know at home too.
Yeah, of course, because inclusivity, we need that out here.
Absolutely.
Where are these back? Oh, this is beautiful.
So this is definitely our autumnal look, but I'm loving this. I just think it's
This is so
super
beautiful.
cool and super, super
Very
chic.
cool.
Now, we teamed up this morning, first of all, with these hoop earrings. You can see here, very simple. Big fan of the hoop earrings. They've been very fashionable for the last couple of years, and they're still very much in fashion. So, like as you're wearing yourself this morning,
I don't think
notice.
you can ever get rid of a
Never,
coat.
absolutely not. But this coat, this is what the statement is. I just think this is amazing. They have them in a few colours, but it's the quality of the coat is phenomenal. Beautiful lining in the inside, but it's the shade, it's the colour. It's kind of a little bit richer than your normal cream or
it
beige.
is, actually.
Yeah.
What material is that?
It's just a simple wool.
Oh, wow. Very
It's
warm
beautiful,
then as
isn't
well.
it? Yeah, very, very classic. Love the belted detail, of course, with this as well. Now, from a styling as well, if you wanted to, you could wear the coat open and maybe put a leather belt if you wanted for something different. That's also an option as well.
Oh, class.
Isn't this gorgeous?
To match your trousers, the belt.
Yeah, I'm loving this. Absolutely, yeah. We're all on print with the leopard print, but the blouse, it's so feminine. Loving the ruching detail on the front of this. Again, very classic, and the styling on this is something that's huge on trend again for autumn, winter as well. We then went with this belt, and to note on this belt, there's actually 3 belts for the price of these actually, so it's actually, they come in a pack of 3 for €12, which is phenomenal. But we went with the leopard print, a nice way of introducing a little bit of leopard print without going
Bunks it up.
too wild. Exactly.
I love those jeans.
Yeah, me too. I love the jeans too, and of course that gorgeous bag as well. But the jeans are high-waisted, and that's what I love about these. The flare leg, again, very much on trend, that wide leg jean, which is great because it elongates the leg. To remember that from styling, and always go for a high waist to give that extra better figure as well.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. All from Carrickdone, of course, they're nationwide and of course online as well.
Couldn't get better
Thank you.
advertisement.
We
Your
don't-
trousers are from Carrickdone as well.
My full outfit this morning is from Carrickdone as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Mandy.
Brooke. Thanks, Maria.
Amazing. Now, still to come this morning, Glenroe favourite Geraldine Plunkett is dropping by. Plus, we've the taste of Mexico over in the kitchen. Stay with us.
Hello there, good morning. It's coming up on 10 a.m. Grab yourself a cuppa and join us for the second hour of Sunday's Ireland AM. It is the 6th of October.
Still to come this morning, Irish TV royalty will grace our couch. She has starred in the likes of Glenroe and Fair City. Actor Geraldine Plunkett will be joining us. That's in just a few minutes.
And former World Rugby Sevens Player of the Year, Terry Kennedy, joins us to share his unforgettable Paris Olympic experience.
And from one Kennedy to another, we'll be chatting to broadcasting legend Mary Kennedy, who's recently celebrating a very special birthday. She'll be joining us after 11.
Apparently, she's 50.
50?
Yeah, 50.
Well,
Yeah, and you know
she's
what?
looking good.
She looks 39. Yeah, she looks fantastic. We'll ask her what her secret is in a few minutes. And Brooke. Brooke's over in the kitchen. Brooke, come in for your dinner. What are we having for the dinner?
Come on, Brick. What's going on?
Morning. Now, Chef Lily Ramirez Boren is in charge of the kitchen today. Now, Lily, what is cooking?
We're going to be making perfect breakfast entomatadas.
Entomatadas.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
delicious. Yeah, lots of. It's a tomato sauce. It's a kind of soft taco stuff with either cheese or chicken, cover with tomato sauce. Perfect for
Sitting down to watch Big Brother tonight.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's check in your Sunday papers, beginning with the front page of the Sunday Independent. Its headline reads, Poll, Nation wants an election next month. The paper goes on to report that more than half of the public want a general election before the end of November, according to their latest poll.
On the front of the Business Post this morning, it opens with not boom and bust. Taoiseach rejects stinging budget criticism. It writes that Simon Harris has flatly rejected accusations that his coalition's bumper pre-election budget marks a return to the ruinous Celtic Tiger era tax and spending packages overseen by Bertie Ahern.
Sunday Times leads with revealed Putin has an agent in the Oireachtas. It reports that the Irish military and security services have identified a politician in the Oireachtas who was being recruited by Russian intelligence as an agent of influence and whose clandestine connections to Moscow remain intact.
On to the tabloids now, and the Irish Mail on Sunday opens with Gardaí raised threat level for ministers. It writes that the security threat level to Taoiseach Simon Harris and other cabinet members has now escalated from moderate to substantial in advance of the general election campaign.
The Sun on Sunday, it leads with prison murder probe. It writes that Gardaí have launched a murder probe after a prisoner was stabbed and beaten to death in Cloverhill prison yesterday.
And the Irish Sunday Mirror leads with the same story, and that headline is shivved in his cell, and it adds that one of the man's cellmates was also attacked.
Sunday World puts drugs baron is back on its front page. The paper reports that cocaine kingpin Philip Barron has returned to Ireland to set up a construction business after completing half of his 18-year prison sentence for drugs trafficking.
And that's your lot this morning.
Now, I bet you all didn't know that we were joined by a national award winner today. The Emro Radio Awards took place on Friday night, and someone not very far away picked up the award for General Music Programme of the Year for their show on Today FM.
There it is. There's Ian Dempsey. Oh, wow, lads.
Look at you. Well done, Ray. That's a massive achievement.
My horrific posture there. That's...
Were you tempted to dance or something?
There was no speech. No, there was no. Jesus, we were there. Radio presenters giving speeches. we were there all weekend. Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, it was. Totally unexpected. I was nominated for one award, and totally unexpected, and it was lovely. And came off after, and they take your photograph afterwards. And I started crying.
Did you?
Well, come on.
I did. Well, you know that kind of like, not properly crying, but like kind of getting the frog in your throat. Yeah. Kind of, hang on, I'm going to go.
Yeah, but it's recognition for the hard work that you do.
You couldn't call it hard, but it was lovely. It was lovely to get. And the way it works is there's not all the judges judge, but there's like 3 people would come together and they judge on it. And I'd love to know who the 3 were, so you could go, geez, you have no idea how much it means. It was lovely. Thanks so much for the vote. But it was a great night actually. Because it's an even better night when you win, because then you're walking around with an award and everyone has to say congratulations, even if they don't want to. But I was up till 3 o'clock on Friday morning.
That's civilised.
Pretty civilised. 3 o'clock for me. It's been a long time since I've been up till 3 o'clock in the morning. But I'm still croaky. I was still feeling it last night. But it was.
You should be. It's a big achievement. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
it's
cheers.
well earned and well deserved.
You're very kind. You're very, very
well
kind.
done.
Yeah.
We didn't realise how much it meant to you as well.
Nor did I. Frankly.
It's
I was I was on a night out on a beer, and I was just glad of the table wine that they brought over the dinner.
Okay,
was lovely, very nice. Mispronunciations, we do mispronunciations.
Oh, go on then. Go on.
The names. Brooke was telling us earlier on that Sean apparently is the most mispronounced name statistically.
Shocking, yeah.
Well, it must be among people outside of this country.
Maybe that's the
It
measurement.
must be because it's the most common name used worldwide, because like Kiva is really Irish and niche. I guess Sean is maybe more vastly used. I'm not sure. But we have one that says, Siobhan says her name has been mispronounced as Siobhan, which I've seen before. Like Siobhan. They say Siobhan.
See, that wouldn't happen in Ireland, though.
No,
must involve only when you're away.
H is a V.
Yeah. We'd know that. Anne says half the Irish names I can't spell, let alone pronounce. And I'm Irish. Oh well, Anne, you're the opposite of what I was just saying. It's never happened in Ireland unless you're going to Anne's house.
Una says Una pronounced got the fada on the U as in the letter name Una.
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 Yeah. Una. Coffee here for Una in Starbucks.
Yeah.
Oh,
by the way, have
heard
you ever
that.
gone into Starbucks and given a mad name?
I think
for
they
them
do
to
that
write
on
down
purpose, though. They mispronounce the names on purpose.
Yes.
I have a friend called Liam, and they always write lame on it. It's like, well, they got me.
And I always ask whenever we're getting coffees, and they just put Ignatius or Aloysius or Concepta Aloysius.
They'd have written it the whole way around by the time your latte arrives.
They're right as it's being poured.
Your own entertainment. It's something to try.
Anyway, has your name been mispronounced? We've got lots more to get through as well. You can let us know. 0896 111 111. After the break, you'll know her from the likes of Fair City and Glenroe. Actor Geraldine Plunkett will be joining us in just a minute.
This drug seems to have the potential to actually heal you. The implications are life-changing.
My face is falling off in clumps. I'm sure it only looks like clumps to you.
Perhaps any potential risk is worth the reward.
Look at this guy. Look at this piece of man candy.
Can I believe my eyes? Edward! Who don't remember me? Oswald.
Hi. Guy's amazing.
What do you know about him? Who is he?
It's kind of brilliant seeing you who looks like you, but you're not yourself.
Let's just all start being honest with ourselves, old friends.
Our next guest is one of the most recognisable faces in Irish television, thanks to her roles as Rose in Fair City and, of course, Mary in Glenroe.
And now she's returning to the stage with the production of The Valley of the Squinting Windows. Geraldine Plunkett, you're very welcome. Lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for getting up for us so early at this hour.
It's been early on a Sunday.
Not too bad.
Let me come. My abiding memory will always be Mary in Glenroe.
Yes,
of course, it will. I don't even want to ask how long ago that. Like, you were a granny. You were Biddy and Miley's children's granny at that stage. How long has it gone?
Biddy and Miley's children's granny, yes, I was, yes. Well, it started in 1983 and it finished in 2001.
2001? It's that long? Yeah, she's nearly 25.
She was a bit young to be a granny.
That's exactly right. You were like a 25-year-old granny.
Well, as a matter of fact, I became a grandmother myself in the middle of it.
While you were doing it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
One thing that we were talking about a work night out a couple of minutes ago. One of the things we were talking about is that nothing lasts forever. Everything ends.
That's right.
And particularly in this line of work, that it's like you don't know if you're going to get another season out of something.
Exactly.
How did you? Because Glenroe meant so much to us. You're aware of. That when the theme music comes on, and
I know you had to go to school, go to bed, and go to school the following day. The number of people that have said that to me.
Yeah. And it comes up every time.
Yes.
But for you, and you had you all worked so hard on that show together. When it ended, how did you manage it?
It was kind of a bit of a shock when it ended, because we had become sort of a family for, the whole 18 years, and had got very close. And a lot of us, 18 years is a long time, and we had got to know each other very well. And also people had lost parents, got married, had baby, all the life things had gone through, and we'd all supported each other, sometimes through thick and thin, really, in lots of ways. That's the core people, the people that were there all the time. Other people came and went. So it was sort of sad. But then, as you say, the freelance business You go on to the next job, you know, that's it. Nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
You know. But we made good friends during it, you know, got to know people really well.
And did you stay in touch? I mean, everyone talks about the WhatsApp group. Everyone, you know, after a reality show or any big production.
We
there was no WhatsApp then.
We didn't have a WhatsApp group, and we have stayed in touch, a lot of us. But when I say stay in touch, we wouldn't necessarily see each other that much, simply because you're doing different things. You're here, you're there. You know, but if you do meet up, it's kind of the years fall away. It's like all the people you were at school with.
You regress.
The years fall away.
Yeah, of course,
and you're back to the way you were.
It's an opportunity to do a friend-style reunion, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's special.
It will be a little bit difficult because there's one or two who aren't with us anymore.
Sadly, yes.
There are one or two, and one of those was your on-screen husband,
Emmett Bergen. Yes, that was very sudden, very sad. Yes, last March. Yeah, very sad.
He was a lovely guy, apparently.
Yeah, terrific. I mean, he wasn't in the least bit like he wasn't a wheeler dealer. It wasn't in the least bit like Dick Moran. Yeah, no.
That's wild, isn't it?
No, he was a very straightforward, uncomplicated person. He loved nature. He loved fishing. He was a fantastic photographer. He was quite a private person, and he wasn't in the least. We wouldn't know a deal if it hit him. He wasn't certain. He certainly wasn't Donald Trump.
Just looking
in the least.
He's so suave and charismatic.
But he had a great voice. Like you'd hear him on a voiceover. And,
yes, he had a lovely voice, and actually at his funeral, which of course was so sad, but a lovely funeral, and there were recordings of him saying a couple of poems. Beautiful. I mean, you know, there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
Yeah, it was. And again, Glenroe meant so much to so many of us, and that, like, the scandal of the affair. It's still we're still reversed.
She's still a floozy, isn't she? It doesn't matter where she goes, what she does, she'll always be a floozy.
We'll never forgive her. My God, I can't believe it's been 23 years, but it's still crazy after all these years. It's still working. Bless the work, as they always say. The play, you're back in the Valley of the Squinting Windows.
That's right. Yes.
Back for more punishment.
Yes. Although I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it because I'm playing an absolutely horrible character.
Oh, excellent.
Horrible.
A biatch, shall we say.
Oh, she's horrible. And of course, Squinting Windows, as you know, means in judgmental, you know, the twitching curtains. Oh, what are the neighbours doing? Oh, she's no better than she should be. All of that kind of thing. I mean, if you say Squinting Windows to people, they know what it means now, you know.
Yeah, it's a part of it. Well, looking out the window and
judging people.
Yeah,
and you know, it's gossip. I think is wonderful. Gossip and interest in people. I mean, it's part of the human nature, isn't it? To be gossiping. I mean, there's nothing like a good gossip, and there's nothing like knowing what people are going, oh my God, are you serious, kind of thing. But it's when you're judgmental and really being bitter about people and bitchy. That's the thing. That's what the Squinting Windows in the play is about.
Yeah, it's all about.
But it says more about the person who's doing the.
Yes, it does.
Being judgmental than it does about the person they're talking about.
Yeah,
it does.
The play, it's 106 years old. It was written in 1918. But it caused quite a scandal. Oh, there's a little bit of the footage of the performance. It caused quite a scandal at the time because it was based on.
Oh, that's me.
Real.
There you are.
There you are, coming through the door. She's only coming in. It was based on a real story.
Yes, the book was published in 1918, and he based it on. He was inspired. Weldon was his real name. Brinsley McNamara's name was John Weldon, and it was inspired by Delvin. And at first, all the people in Delvin, there was a public reading, and they were all delighted. Oh, we've got an author. And then it turned out that they kind of were recognising themselves. Now, he didn't name people, and it's fiction, but he kind of drew on it, and he was run out of the place. The book was burnt. He was read from the altar. His father lost his job as the local schoolmaster.
Wow.
Had to leave and never come back, and all the rest. And Weldon himself, Brinsley McNamara, as he called himself, was an actor in the Abbey, and he wrote plays, and he became a registrar of the National Gallery, and was a very, very artistic, all-round person, you know. But he was never forgiven.
Yeah, but everything he was talking about in the book, it came to pass.
Absolutely, yes, yes, it did.
They were that judgmental.
They were absolutely, and it could have been really any small town in Ireland, and probably Dublin as well, for all I know, you know.
But still relative today.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah,
Do you think we've changed? Do you think we've moved on? Or do we still have the same issues of, like the squinting windows, judging the neighbours?
Or are we using our doorbells?
Well, I was just saying, we've got the door, the video doorbells.
Yes.
And we just have technology. We don't need to squint through the
we don't need to move the curtain anymore.
No, but I think there's more to just the squinting windows is sort of a metaphor
it's not literal,
for curiosity and for judgmentalism. I hope, well, I don't know. I hope we're not less judgmental, are we? I don't know.
A little more understanding we'd like to be, and then you turn on Twitter or X as it is now.
Yes. Well, there's that other side of it, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's technological judgmentalism.
And sticking your nose into other people's business. How many people are in the cast?
Oh, there's quite a few. God, are there about 10 or 12 characters? And then there are sort of crowds that come in and out.
Okay.
And there's also a video screen. There's a big, huge video screen.
Yeah, we could see that when we were looking at you.
Yeah, and it actually, people think, oh, how does that work? But it actually works very well because I'll give you an example. The young man in it is looking at the woman he loves. She doesn't know and he doesn't know, etc. But you can see, and she's singing at a local concert. And so on the screen we can see because he's just sitting there, the stage sees her singing and it's all beautiful. But you see his face in close-up looking at her with love. So you're getting the two sides. You're getting the theatrical performance of her singing and you're getting his inner thoughts
being expressed
on the screen, so you can get the two things. It sounds like as if you can't concentrate on the two things, but actually you can in some strange way. And people, like last year, people said it took a minute or two, and then it really, really worked.
Yeah.
So
it sounds fabulous, and. So you know all the lines. You did it last year.
Yes. We're not going to say them now, though.
No, we're not going to ask you.
Don't ask me.
You've got time.
Yeah, it must be a joy to play
somebody
who's very different to Rose and Fair City and Mary.
Well, yes, it is. Yes. I've played a couple of baddies in my time, and they're always great fun.
Yeah. It's much more enjoyable than the lovely ones. It's the Valley of the Squinting Windows in the Gaiety Theatre, and you can get your tickets online or at the Gaiety Theatre.
And it's and 3 performances in Mullingar Arts Centre the previous week.
Coming up as well.
Okay, awesome.
So, all right.
Geraldine, lovely to see you again. Thanks so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
All right. After the break, we're hungry. We need to be fed. And, we've got a taste of Mexico over in the kitchen, so join us for some grub in just a minute.
Welcome. You say entomatado, I say entomatada. Let's call the whole thing up.
Hola. Welcome back. We are bringing the savoury taste of Mexico to our breakfast this morning. That's why we're giddy.
Entomatada. Chef Lily Ramirez Foreign from Picado Cookery School joins us with the goods. Good morning, madam. Good to see you.
Good morning. Thank you.
And we're having entomatadas.
We're having entomatadas, yeah. Vamos a hacer esto en español ahora.
Oh, you've got me now. Forget it. I have to get back on the Duolingo. Tell us, what is an entomatada?
An entomatada is sort of like your twisted version of an enchilada. Do you know how people kind of go, oh, I'm having enchilada on Tuesday?
Yes.
And you go, no, you're not, right? This is not an enchilada. Okay. What you're actually having is an entomatada because it's a tomate.
Oh, okay.
It's entomatada. It's a taco covered with a tomato sauce.
Oh, right? Okay, right. So
saucier. So you're not really making an enchilada. You're making an entomatada. An enchilada would be covered with a chili sauce. Chili sauce.
Okay.
And no tomatoes in it, just chili. So it's very interesting. So we're going to make a traditional Mexican enchilada, entomatada today. See, there you go.
We're all getting confused.
So I have a little bit of onion on the pan with a tiny bit of oil, about a tablespoon of oil max.
Okay.
Right? And while the onion softens, we're going to make our sauce. And it's so simple, right? We're just going to get whole tomatoes, chuck them in. Mm-hmm. This is perfect for, like, the way we are today, very tired. In a rush and very tired. A whole chili. Ooh. I mean, you can, that was a garlic clove. You can add as much or as little chili as you want, right? Make it, if you have kids, these are quite inoffensive.
Quite subtle.
Very subtle, not a lot of heat. I am adding a vegetable stock cube, and we're going to blend these. I was supposed to add a little bit of water to help the blender work. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter because
You have made some?
I have one that I made earlier, right? But let me try it.
The tap is working there.
Is it?
I think it is,
excellent.
yeah. Go on,
If
give
it
it a go.
is...
Give us a little drop in.
it is
I've got a little drop. Yeah, we'll drink that.
A little drop.
Anything will help.
Okay,
Okay,
so
here we
make
go.
this.
Excellent. So let's see. Come on, don't let me down, beautiful blender on live TV.
The blender.
It is letting me down, but it should actually get
Oh, there we
water.
go. Look at that.
And this is the joys of live TV, isn't it?
It's going to happen. Oh,
There it is. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's satisfying, isn't it?
Yay! So you have a completely smooth sauce
That's it.
that, yeah,
and now we've
goes...
seen you don't need a lot of water.
No, a little bit. In fairness, at home it would probably worked with the first lot of water we had, about a quarter cup as much, you know, and then it goes on your onions, and then patience, about 10 minutes max, would give you this beautifully silky tomato sauce that we have on this pan that we made earlier.
Gotcha.
Right.
Right.
So
it's
this...
quite. Would you blend it for longer, or I was going to say it's quite chunky?
Well,
you leave it that chunky, would you?
You can leave it that chunky so that you can add a little bit of texture to your sauce.
Gotcha.
But if you don't like chunky, blend it a little bit longer,
okay.
and you get... And in there, it's going to start changing from this kind of almost white foamy sauce into this beautifully rich red sauce.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Lovely.
So this is about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Right? And then you start with your tortillas, right? I have a small pan here with a little bit of oil, and I have... This is the difference between your enchiladas and Mexican entomatadas. We use corn tortillas. We don't do wheat. And that's why we don't need to bake them, right?
Right.
If you add a lot of sauce into a wheat tortilla, it'll kind of become gloopy and... Soggy.
Right.
So you have to bake them to dry them out. We don't do that in Mexico. We add a little bit of oil, a corn tortilla. I have my plate here ready. And then gently put it into your pan, right? And you don't want to crisp them up. You're just gently heating them.
Making them firmer, is it?
Just because there's no gluten in corn tortillas, so they're quite carbohy, unless you add heat to them. Once you heat them, they become soft and pliable. Okay. And we want to roll them or fold them.
So you need them soft.
So we need them soft,
Gotcha.
right?
They're quite small. I'm not being greedy, and you know, but I'm Irish. Are they?
This is the size.
This I was going to say. Can you get them bigger? No.
No, this is the size.
Right.
So they're going to be the little bit of oil is going to add. I can tell you're all hungry. It's going to help us with the sauce because the sauce will stick easier to your tortilla. So you put your tortilla there. I'm going to put another one so we can give you two. And then I'm doing a very simple filling. I have feta cheese, and I'm adding a little bit of red onion. And I know this sounds a bit weird, but it's actually really tasty. I'm just mixing it.
It sounds tasty. I love feta.
And I am going to gently put one on my pan. I'm going to give you... How are we on time?
About 2 minutes left.
2, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna make one for each of you straight away, and then if we have time, I can make more.
Oh, we can share as well.
We can share.
We're friends.
We're putting the cheese at the bottom of the tortilla, and then I have asbestos fingers, so I can roll them. You want to roll them tight like a cigar.
So it doesn't burn you, you mean?
Yes. And you want to make sure that the fold, it's underneath you, so that you can, it doesn't fall back.
Fall back again.
Okay, so we'll make one, so it looks pretty, right? We make a plate with two,
Okay.
and then while you taste, I make a few more. You can stuff these with whatever you want, right? I love them with cheese. They're a great way to kind of eat a little less meat and still not miss it. Once you have your plate, we usually have 4 on a plate. That's right, with your
We usually have 4
sauce.
big size ones in Ireland.
You kind of cover them with the sauce. All of the flavors in the sauce. So you don't want to be stingy with the sauce. You want to be very, very generous. And then just to make them look pretty and taste better, you sprinkle a bit more cheese on top, right? I have chicken. While you taste these ones, I'll make a couple of chicken ones.
Perfect.
Oh, so you can throw whatever you like in the middle as you're filling.
And
Great.
it doesn't change
Basically.
the...
No.
Okay.
It's
they're
all
shouting-
about the sauce.
They're shouting 15 seconds at me, and I'm like,
And I'm
am I going to get a bite of this? Oh.
So you cut them with your knife and your fork.
Go on, Scully, and get stuck in.
I'm in.
Doesn't that look lovely? The sauce looks stunning. The sauce is ridiculously simple. I
I
have
know.
to say, the notion, just use the
It's a
blender.
very simple dish. You can do it in your food processor. It's just very simple.
Were you hungry?
We're agreed. We're agreed.
And it's not very spicy.
No,
It's not.
Yeah.
It's
I
manageable.
do like spice now. I've definitely gotten more
You
into
can
it.
you can add more chili if you want it.
There's
Perfect
a little bit of
hangover
heat there, yeah,
cure
but it's
as
not
well.
crazy. Oh my God, that's
Thank
gorgeous.
you.
That's
It's so
lovely.
yummy.
Really nice.
Quite healthy, I would say. Quite healthy.
I think so, yeah, because like I use about a tablespoon of oil, so that's all
Yeah,
you
it's
use
really
for about 4.
Lily, thank you so much.
No problem.
Now, everyone, full recipe details are available on our website, or you can find out more from Lily at her website, picadomexican.com.
Yeah, up next, rugby. I'm going to, up next, I eat this. Irish Rugby 7 sensation Terry Kennedy is also joining us to chat all about his unforgettable Paris Olympic experience. We'll be back right after the break. Do stay with us.
Welcome back. It was a summer of sporting excitement as Ireland shone bright at the Paris Olympics.
We were all hooked from day one whenever the Irish men's rugby sevens team hit the field of the iconic Stade de France.
And leading the charge from that star-studded lineup was none other than Terry Kennedy. And he's here with us now. Good to see you, sir.
Morning.
Thanks for having me on.
Out of the bed early on a Sunday.
I know. Very early start, but yeah, not too bad. Keep you on the straight and narrow on a Saturday night.
Well, you had quite a day yesterday, and we'll get around to that in a few minutes. But can we talk about the Olympics? Because I know this was your second experience, but it was very different from Tokyo.
Yeah, worlds apart. I mean, the village and things like that were very similar, but I think everything outside of that was so different, and you know, it being so close to home even, and not even the time difference like Tokyo. So anyone who couldn't make it across could watch everything live, and then having so many family and friends that did make the trip across was incredible.
Yeah.
Seeing them in the stands was probably a lot better than seeing no one in the stands.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there was obviously a full house there, but you still spot some familiar faces up in the crowd wearing the Irish flags and all that. So
Now, you mentioned the Olympic Village. Everyone that's not involved wants to know what that's like.
I mean, yeah, I think people have an idea of it that it's probably more glamorous than it is. I think all you have to do is look at the photos of the betting situation, and it's pretty low key, but I think it's kind of a cool experience. It's something different, and you know what you're getting into going over. So
Yeah, but does it become a different experience when your event is over?
yeah, we were very much out of the place. So we finished up early enough, and then
They took you home.
No. We stayed on for a few days, but we only stayed we stayed the last night in the village, and then after that we went to the Irish Cultural Centre where we stayed for another 3 nights, and that was great because you got to kind of experience Paris and the Olympics, and you know, go around it off schedule. But you're not annoying athletes who are still involved in the Olympics. So
Yeah, and you mentioned there, like, you guys, the Rugby Sevens, were the first of the Irish athletes to compete. Was there pressure with that?
a little bit, yeah. I mean, it was a weird situation where we were on before even the opening ceremony. So it was great, you know, to come back to the village and have everyone there still, like, you know, supporting you. And we were really the only event on at that stage. So that was great. But yeah, it was definitely, you felt a little bit kind of going out and leading the team from the start.
But there was a bit of pressure because there were high expectations, especially after Tokyo.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and we probably, you know, the expectation was coming from within as well, and we'd performed so well this year in general. But I mean, anyone who had followed the Sevens all year, it was so close. Every tournament, there was probably 9 or 10 teams that could win any tournament, which made it really exciting to play in and for people to watch. But it meant, you know, if you were slightly off in any match, you could get knocked out pretty easily. And unfortunately, that happened in the quarterfinal for us.
Yeah.
Now, Rugby Sevens has a different sort of format than the conventional rugby game. It's kind of action-packed at all times.
It is, yeah, and I think it's exciting for I suppose, non-traditional rugby fans as well, that it's, you know, shorter, sharper, quicker action, that maybe hard to keep them concentrated for 80 minutes of a 15s game where it's a bit slower. So I think it is great for that, and even expanding into, you know, countries where rugby isn't as well known. I think it will really help there too.
Oh, yeah, it's a much faster game. You like we had Antoine Dupont, we had Hugo Keenan moving over to play sevens. Is it quite a transition for them? Is it a big adjustment?
I think so, yeah. And I mean, they did such a great job doing so. But there's probably not too many players that could make that transition easy enough. So yeah, I think credit to them both. You know, it was a big effort to do so, and an incredible achievement.
Okay.
And with only 7 minutes per half, are you really aware of the clock ticking down?
Yeah, now it feels a lot longer sometimes when you're blowing out there, but yeah, I mean, if you get to, you know, a couple of minutes left and, you know, you're a score or two behind, you're obviously keeping an eye on that clock and making sure that you're not pushing it too much, but at the same time, you know, need to make things happen quick enough.
Yeah. Now we're not dealing with muck when we're talking to Terry. Like you were the World Rugby Sevens Player of the Year in 2022.
Yeah, luckily enough, I mean, that was something I'd never even thought of as a possibility. We'd only got onto the series and qualified to play on the main World Series, and that was probably our first full year, because the year before was impacted by COVID. And yeah, it came about, and when I found out I was nominated, I was delighted with that, and then to get it was incredible. But it was something I'd never thought of previously.
Yeah, but it was. They don't just hand it out of sympathy. You know, it was earned, and it was well earned. Yeah, how many tries have you scored now for Ireland?
Oh, I don't know. I know I got my 100th this year. I don't know anything after that though.
Oh wow!
It is absolutely amazing. Before we move on from the Olympics, you were in Japan, you were in Paris. The French love their food, and they claim they have a reputation. So, which had the better kitchen?
Definitely Tokyo.
Really?
Yeah. And I think the reason for that was France I saw a thing before we went over that there was no French fries. They'd gone for this healthy approach to things, and you could definitely tell. Whereas in Tokyo, like, you could have any sort of food you wanted. Right. It was 24 hours. Everything was open, whether you wanted, you know, fried food or really healthy stuff. Whereas in France, they definitely went down the healthier route. So probably better from a performance perspective, but definitely not as tasty.
And I guess since the dust has settled now, a lot of people talk about post-Olympic blues as such. And I can only imagine that coming down is quite difficult to navigate. How have you been since?
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I'm in a fortunate enough position. I was working alongside rugby for the last kind of 3-4 years. So I had a job to kind of jump straight back into after a couple of weeks of holidays. So that was great to, you know, keep me occupied. I've been very busy with that. And it's... yeah, I mean, some people where, you know, it's either they jump back into training, which sometimes is difficult, or they have nothing going on, so it can be a little bit more difficult. But I think Team Ireland do a great job of getting the support structures in place to make sure, you know, everyone's looked after the Olympics, and everyone, you know, keeps up some level of, you know, whether it is work or training to get back into.
Okay. You've kept yourself busy doing other things, and we mentioned, you know, the busy day you had yesterday. You were packing. You're working. Just tell us about it. It's Zambrero you're working with.
Zambrero, yeah, the Mexican food chain. So they have a charity initiative called Plate for Plate, where they, for every burrito or bowl purchased globally in store, they'll donate a meal to charity. So they're on a mission to donate 100 million meals by 2025. We were down in St Mary's College, Rathmines, which coincidentally is my old school. So on Friday, they had 500 school students packaging the meals. Yesterday, we had over 200 volunteers and got a target of 120,000, got 130,000 over the couple of days.
Okay, we're looking at a picture of yourself and Charlene. Yeah. So both of you were busy.
Yeah, exactly. No, so we were both down there yesterday for the day, and reached the target and a little bit more. And I think they're now at 83 million meals donated globally, and working towards the goal of 100 million.
And who are the meals distributed to?
So the ones we were doing yesterday, I think, are going to Nigeria maybe. So it's people in need around the world. Yeah. And it's through their charity partner, Rise for Hunger.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you, Terry.
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay,
Thanks very
we're keeping
much.
our fingers crossed. We don't push you on the question. We're just keeping our fingers crossed that we'll see you in green again. Okay.
Thanks for having me on.
Good to see you, sir.
Cheers.
All right, to find out more information about Zambrero and their fundraising efforts, head over to zambrero.ie/place for place.
Now, still to come, TV royalty Mary Kennedy is stopping by. We are back in just a few minutes. See you then.
Are you making the pizza? Or are you a big box?
Cardboard box. Big fish, little fish. Cardboard
Big fish, little fish.
Day one in the Ireland AM house.
Day one.
And Martin is reading the next bit.
Oh, this is me. No, that's you, Ray.
It's you. Oh, it says Ray at the top.
It's you. It says
and
Ray.
Day one in the Big Brother house, and Ray has dropped the ball on the telly again. The countdown is on to a new series of the original budget reality TV show. Big Brother is returning to our screens tonight at 9 on Virgin Media 2.
Okay, yes, the ultimate social experiment will see 6 weeks of bizarre shopping tasks, brutal eliminations, big personality clashes, and we'll be discussing all of that in our telly preview later this hour.
Yes, plus legendary Irish broadcaster Mary Kennedy's going to be joining us. She's going to be talking podcasts, new beginnings and milestone birthdays in just a few minutes.
And Brooke is really looking forward to Big Brother to the point where she's actually at the door of the Big Brother house right now. Isn't that right, Brooke?
Who's the new housemate? It's me. No, this is not a life-size door. Our DIY expert Martin Glenn is here and he's going to be teaching us how to make our homes winter ready. Martin, what are you going to be showing us later?
We're just going to show you how to tighten up all them doors and get rid of all them drafts in our homes, and because you can see the change in the weather recently, so very important to winter-proof our home.
Oh, well, this is going to be very handy then. It's going to be quite interactive.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm going to learn a
I'll keep
lot.
you busy.
Thank you very much.
Let's check in your Sunday papers, starting with the front of the Sunday Independent. Its headline reads, Poll, Nation wants an election next month. The paper goes on to report that more than half of the public want a general election before the end of November. That's according to their latest poll.
On the front of the the Business Post this morning, it opens with not boom and bust. Taoiseach rejects stinging budget criticism. It writes that Simon Harris has flatly rejected accusations that his coalition's bumper pre-election budget marks a return to the ruinous Celtic Tiger era tax and spending packages overseen by Bertie Ahern.
Sunday Times leads with revealed Putin has an agent in the Oireachtas. It reports that the Irish military and security services have identified a politician in the Oireachtas who has been recruited by Russian intelligence as an agent of influence and whose clandestine connections to Moscow remain intact.
Onto the tabloids now, and the Irish Mail on Sunday opens with Gardaí raised threat level for ministers. It writes that the security threat level to Taoiseach Simon Harris and cabinet members has escalated from moderate to substantial in advance of the general election campaign.
The Sun on Sunday leads with prison murder probe. It writes that Gardaí have launched a murder probe after a prisoner was stabbed and beaten to death in Cloverhill Prison yesterday.
And the Irish Sunday Mirror leads with that same story. The headline is shivved in his cell. It adds that one of the man's cellmates was also attacked.
Sunday World puts drug baron is back on its front page. The paper reports that cocaine kingpin Philip Barron has returned to Ireland to set up a construction business after completing half of his 18-year prison sentence for drugs trafficking.
And that's your front pages this morning, ready for the general election. They're saying middle of next month is what the money is. To get it done, get it out of the way, get your vote. And mispronunciations as well. The number one vote is for Sean.
Talking all things mispronunciations this
Come on,
morning.
Brick. Tell us more.
I can't believe that.
People call her Brick instead of Brooke.
I think it must be me. Like, hi, I'm Brooke. There must be a way
Your own pronunciation of it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'll change it. I'd say Brooke or Brook. Brookie.
Come in here.
We'll do it.
I love this first text from Alan, and we need Brooke to read it.
No, because you know what? No, because when you were doing papers, I was reading it like.
Go on, give it a go. This is Alan's wife's name.
Alan, I'm sorry. Okay, my wife's name. Right. I've been learning Irish on Duolingo, so I'm going to say Orna.
Oh yeah,
it is Orna.
It is.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. I initially read it as O'Darnett,
Oh, darn it!
Oh, darn it, I married her.
Darn it!
And that's spelled Odharnait.
Yeah. Darn it. Yeah,
Darn
it's
it.
Orna. It's a beautiful name, actually. But
is
yeah, you can
beautiful.
see where people are getting tripped up. Mary Lou says, my daughter's name is another Orla, but it's O for the Or, F-H-L-A-I-T-H.
And it's the old spelling he says for Orla.
There. It's O-R-L-A. You're just making it hard for people. That's the old Irish spelling. She uses the shortened version mostly, as she now lives in Australia. This is the thing.
Is the next one Nullig?
It is Nullig, yeah.
Nullig. Okay, is that Are You Happy? Merry Christmas? Nullig Shona.
Yeah, Nullig.
I'm learning Duolingo. I'm going to be fluent, I tell you, in 2 months.
You're going to be fluent by Nullig.
No. Yeah.
But he said, Nullig says that most people pronounce the D because he spells it N-O-D-L-A-I-G. Nodleg or
Nodlag.
Yeah.
Here's one, Avril, pronounced as, people are saying they don't get Avril right. I thought Avril was quite universal.
No, I know somebody who pronounced Avril as April.
April?
April, I don't know why. April, come here.
Advil, Avil, April, Arvil.
Her granny called her Ariel from the day she was born. That's so cute.
Mermaid.
That's lovely.
It's lovely, very nice.
It's a nice mistake.
Maeve, the Irish spelling of it causes confusion. Ganairi live, says Maeve. So, but yeah, M-E-A-D-H-B-H. If you just present that to anybody outside of Ireland and ask them to say it, they're going to have
There's loads of them. Yeah, it's mostly Irish names. Except for Breda. Breda says nobody knows how to spell Breda, and most people spell it bread. So a nice to our sandwich.
Yeah,
viewers.
Isn't it a good job our name's not Mooney?
Or Johnson.
Or O'Brien.
They're all covered. Thanks for all your texts this morning. Keep coming in. We love to hear from you.
OK, we always do. All right. Up next, TV royalty. Mary Kennedy is in the studio. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Oh, sorry, that's you.
Our next guest is, well, a true Irish household name, best known for presenting Nationwide, Open House, Up the Match, Eurovision, and that's just a few of them.
There's so many. It's a list. The IMDb page goes on to a second page.
We just kept rolling it.
This week, she celebrated a huge birthday milestone. Mary Kennedy, welcome back to Ireland AM. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you guys as well.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this is a different milestone. It was funny being 50. It was good fun. It was nice being 60. But 70 is serious. You've got to be thinking of time left and people as important, and health.
Okay, so
a huge one.
Of course, and we're going to be talking about that in
the
just
rsdme.ie.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about that in just a sec. But
you are on it, Mary Kennedy. At 70.
You see, this is why she gets all the work.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Straight away, first mention, she's already got the plug in.
But 50, 60, 70, you celebrate each birthday differently.
Oh, yes.
So what kind of celebration do you have
for this one?
Yeah.
It was lovely. It was much more muted. It was, for my 60th, they had a surprise party, and it was lovely in the tennis club in Templeogue. It was gorgeous. But this one, I just felt I'd like to do this a bit more quietly.
Okay.
So my children, I went out for dinner on the day of the birthday, which was the end of September, and then my children had a family gathering in the Dillon. I didn't know where I was going to be, but I knew I was going to be in a hotel. And actually, I had been away, and I was sure it was going to be in my house. So I organised the gardener, and I organised to get the windows cleaned. But then it wasn't there at all.
It's nice to get the
money wasted.
Yeah. But I took them on a cruise. We went on a cruise because I just wanted everybody to be together, and it was me, my children, their partners, and the grandchildren. There they are.
Look at
that's
it. The whole gang.
We all went, 13 of us.
Wow. No killings. Everyone came back intact.
It was lovely. It was a very nice...
Where did the cruise take you?
From Barcelona through Genoa and Rome and places like that, and then back to Barcelona. It was lovely. It was just so nice to have them all together, and the babies and the cousins, very special.
I didn't have to worry about getting a taxi home each night, because you just, you're out at sea, you're grand.
Pools, and you're going out onto the
room is just up in the lift. Yeah,
your little balcony, you're having your coffee looking out on the sea.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
You feel very posh.
I was about to ask, were you port out starboard home?
What does that mean?
Posh, that's where the word posh
very
comes from.
posh.
Oh,
That's
really?
right, you're right, Martin. No, it was just lovely. so nice. I'd recommend it.
Okay.
You do feel posh.
Okay, and there's another grandchild as well.
Yeah, she was 3 months old when we went. She's 4 months old now. Hazel Rose is her name.
Lovely.
And there's 5 grandchildren now. Paddy, Holly, Julia, Charlotte and Hazel.
Okay.
Who's your favourite?
My daughter actually, she bought me a mug for my birthday. She said, the fact that I'm your favourite child should be enough, but here's a mug.
It sealed the deal. Yeah, happy birthday. I got you this for your 70.
It is brilliant. Are you Granny Mary? Are you Nanny Mary?
Nana.
Nana?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Nana.
That's lovely. Tell us...
I am a Nana. When you get to 70, you can be proud and be a Nana.
Okay,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Retirement. Well, what a silly expression, because you're still working. You're still going. You haven't slowed down.
Well, no,
all.
I have, and it's measured, and I think it's very important that you have this balance, because, as I said, when you get to 70, the thing that's most important is making the most of your health and your relationships and your friendships and your family. So there's no point in. I remember Gay Byrne used to always say that you never meet anybody at the end of their life saying, I wish I'd worked more. But you do meet a lot of people at the end of their life who say, I wish I'd worked less.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's very true. Like, what gives meaning to life?
Yeah.
The way you are with people and the way the people are with you, and that you have time for them. So, no, it's totally measured and it's totally pared back. But there are the odd things like the RSV and me.
Oh, here she goes again.
Let's do that. Come on, let's do it.
Okay.
Come on, let's talk about it.
Okay, so this is an important issue with health. A lot of people feel that it's something that affects babies, and it does. And it's very important that that vaccination is available should it be needed. But it's only about 48% of people know about RSV in older people and the importance of it. I was one of those people. I really didn't think it was a thing. But, and particularly for people over 65 who have underlying conditions like diabetes or COPD or maybe a heart condition or asthma. And there's lots of people like that around. Mm-hmm. So you've got to be aware and to keep up to date with your GP visits, your vaccines, and to ask the GP, what do you think about this for me? Because I feel that this age is a very important age. Mm-hmm. I think we, at this age and stage in life, have an awful lot to offer. I love the idea of the kind of, the bills are paid, I can enjoy myself now, and also there's wisdom that you can give to younger generations, and also the joy that younger generations give to you. So you want to be in the whole of your health for that. And also, isn't it nice to feel that if you are conscious of this and don't, and go to your GP, if you've got symptoms like coughing, runny nose, wheezing, sneezing, and also have good health hygiene, that it might then, through the winter, when these things are very prevalent, save hospitalisation. And we've all got so tired of stories of overcrowding in hospitals that sometimes can have tragic results, as we saw recently with that young girl, Aoife Johnston. Yeah. But if older people are, more aware and therefore more vigilant and also protected, there'll be fewer people going into hospital.
Mind yourself, yeah.
It's a big one.
rsvandme.ie.
rsvandme.ie.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But you're also looking after yourself. You were saying, like you're staying healthy.
Yes,
you're keeping a check on this. You're getting your vaccines, but you're exercising too.
Yeah.
Because muscle mass is so important.
You're dead right. And as you get older, it's more important to train your upper body to have the strength, because your muscle mass declines and your bone mass declines. So because osteoporosis is another thing that can affect you. So you've got to keep the strength in the upper body so that you can lift those grandchildren and throw them over your head.
You need to be aiming for it. You're fine and fit. And
and you're exercising at home these days.
Yes, I am. I do. Once a week, I go online with Carl Henry, and he runs me through the ringer. Right. And then I do it myself at home about 4 times a week. And then I also go for, for cardio, go for walks.
Good walks,
Put in a good podcast.
I'm exhausted.
Oh, no. You know what? She can nearly write this interview herself. We don't need us at all.
It's a monologue.
Changing times. The Annelwood Conversations will be back soon.
This is the Two Marys podcast.
Two Marys, yeah.
With Mary McAleese.
Mary McAleese, yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about, you were friends already.
Yes, we were. We were in the same walking group. So it was just somebody suggested it, having, been listening to Alistair Campbell and Rory Stewart, and said, that's a good vibe between the two of them. So yeah, we've done season 1, 20 episodes.
Right.
And now we're starting on season 2.
Okay, so
It is
Wherever
fantastic.
you get your podcast.
Could I ask, actually, because spending time with Mary McAleese, politician, of course, her politics background, and we've seen Cynthia Nwaraku of the Eurovision, among other things, and now Gráinne Show gets thrown her hat in the
Nina
ring.
Carberry.
But look, you could put your hat in the ring in any constituency in Ireland and you top the poll, I'm sure.
Would I, Ray? Would you be my campaign manager?
Well, you get my vote anyway.
Thank you.
Genuinely, though, have you been approached by anyone to run, given that these...
I have, but I wouldn't be interested in it because, as I said to you, I am of this age and I want to spend it with I want to do the bits of work and I do enjoy those. I find them very stimulating, but I do want... Family is really the most important thing for me.
And a politician's life is a very, very busy
hard,
life.
and I admire them. And they do an awful lot of, lobbying on behalf of their constituents, and we need it.
Yeah.
But I just don't
Not
have
for you.
the time at the moment.
Who else?
I'm going to.
well, you might
anyway.
just. What about the Oris? It's coming up in the next year or so.
That's 7 years.
Come on, you've got an in. You've got the other Mary. She can put a word in for you.
You get a lovely house. You can throw as many parties as you like.
No,
It'll be lovely.
And lots of Tunnocks tea cakes.
No,
because that's the promise.
I love the Tunnocks tea cakes. Well,
That's
it's
the
actually
promise.
Mary McAleese is addicted, and we always have them for our guests. It's a very convivial atmosphere that we have.
So here, have a tea cake and spill the beans.
No, we're not scalpel merchants. We're there to have
Have fun.
conversations, the Allenwood conversations. Could I also mention, because it's starting on the 15th of October,
Go on.
season 3 of Moving West is starting on TG Cahir.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. She segued the whole thing herself.
Perfect. That's perfect.
But it was lovely. But the important thing for us here this morning is
RSV.
Okay.
And stay healthy, because we've so much to offer us.
We're also heading into
I will eventually be as healthy as Mary Kennedy. If I
You're looking great.
Will you stop?
I have
Lovely
to
to see
say.
you. Well, not have as great as you. Lovely to see you again. See you on the next one.
Okay.
Cheers. We'll see you at the 80th.
Please.
I will be having this in the Oris. In the Oris in Intro.
Yeah, for a tea party. All right, for more information about the RSV awareness campaign and to learn more about RSV, head over to rsvandme.ie.
Yes, up next, we're looking at the best tips for insulating our homes ahead of the winter, and we'll see you after this.
Welcome back. Winter is coming. I don't know, I just thought I would do that. Yeah.
That you, Jon Snow?
And the worries about our electricity bills are coming with it. We hit the boost button in our house last night, put the heating on.
Did you?
Yeah, it got a bit chilly.
Oh, it's happening, but there are a few simple DIY hacks that can make our homes more winter ready. Our DIY expert, Martin Glynn, is here to show us some of them. Good morning, how are you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Okay, well, winter is on the way, and we're getting a bit of a bang of late autumn already. So, what's the first thing we can do? I suppose dealing with drafts.
Yeah, well, like people have this conception that they have a cold house, but like if you break it down and it can be less overwhelming, we'll say. So if we kind of focus on the outside of the house first, so if we focus on your front doors or your external doors initially, and kind of get the outside sealed in your house, even though it could be 20, 30, 40, 50 years old, a lot of the same mechanisms are in our doors and they're there to help us to seal these doors up again, okay? So if we look at our, this is an external door here. So if you open it here, there's a bit wobbly here now. So there's a little thing here, you can see it. So it's a small little function. So as I pull up my handle,
see that now.
As I pull up my handle, that goes up and down, and that goes into a slot like this on your frame. Okay, so as I push that up, it slots into that. So if you want to tighten up your door here against your frame, you can actually adjust it here. Okay, so if you get a small Allen key here, so it's a 4mm one for this, just put it in here and twist it. That little mechanism is set off center, so it'll push the door 2mm this way and put it snug against the frame again.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
And we can do the opposite when the spring and the summer comes around.
Yeah. So sometimes, these rubbers can, get a bit weaker over time.
Okay.
So they're designed that way, so it's set off centre. So if we twist it 180 degrees, it'll tighten into, when it slots out into that little slot, it'll tighten the door again.
Okay,
So what tools did you use there?
Just an Allen key.
Allen key.
That's it?
Yeah, there's 4 of them along our door, 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you do this, when you lift up your hand like this, that locks all our door all the way down.
Okay. Now, you spoke to us before about your press doors.
Yeah.
And if you were to do that with your press door, it might go a little bit wonky to the left or to the right and mightn't close properly. We don't have that risk
No,
with this.
well, like these are PVCs. There's a bit of movement in them. You know, so you want to get them as snug as possible. So that's going to catch 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. If you can get in that millimetre or two, it's going to close the whole door in tight against the frame again.
I'm thinking of all the people who feel drafts around their front doors and are going out and getting draft excluders, and all they need is an Allen key.
Yeah, that's very simple. It's very clever as well. And very good one. So another quick one as well. A lot of people don't realise if you want to change a lock in your house, you can just, there's a screw in line with your lock here. You can just undo this screw.
Yeah.
And the whole barrel will come out for you. And now,
Oh, wow.
do you know, so if you need to change keys or anything like that, that's as easy as to change them
It's
as
as
well.
simple as that.
Yeah.
There's locksmiths throwing mugs of tea at the telly.
I know,
right now.
They'll be waiting at my house when I get home. But yeah, it's all very clever and all designed there to make it easy for us, you know.
Okay.
So then we move on to our windows then, okay? This up here. I get the bar in your hand.
Yeah, you're all right. Oh, did you hear the slide take?
Okay, so if we look at our window, so you see there's for instance, if our reveal comes in this way, and sometimes the window can move back a small bit from the concrete. So you can see that small little crack there.
Yeah.
So it's important to just get a good sealant like this, and take your time. You don't need a tradesman to do this.
Any kind of seal bond.
No, it's a sealant. It has to be a sealant, so it's going to be external, so it has to be water resistant. So it has to be a sealant. So you see it wrote on it there. Okay, so just go all the way around your frame like this, and seal that crack again. And then when you turn around the back, then the same on the other side.
I'd be afraid of gluing the window shut. I swear.
But that's very, very valid. So
It's very simple, yeah. So and like it's the same on the inside if you see that crack opening, and the same in your window boards as well. You can often see your window boards like this, and there could be that small gap there, and under here. Just seal all them spots. That's where all these drafts are coming in. Very simple.
Okay. The whatever about the sealant itself, the apparatus. It's easy enough to get.
That's it. It's just pull the trigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, you learn very quick when it sprays all over the floor. It's a self-learning tool.
When you mess it up, you learn.
Yeah. And even the hinges and stuff we have in our windows like this, they're all changeable. So sometimes they can go in an older window, but you can go to your supplier and they'll give you a brand new one again. Like, you know, so they're all changeable as well. But I'm conscious of time now, so we won't go change.
You need a hand with that, Martin.
No. Okay. So that's outside our house. Okay. Oh, actually, one more. So this is so just say you're in an older house and there was a chimney flue that wasn't being used.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's drafts coming straight down there. So this is just like a balloon, I suppose, and you can just put this in here.
I have one in my flat in London. I have a chimney in my room.
Oh,
That's
lovely.
not being used.
You know,
Yeah.
there's not.
No.
So all you do is push that up into the chimney. You can give that a pump there, Brooke. And literally pump that up into it, and that will seal the whole thing. And you have the cold air up above it, and the warm air underneath.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Should you put it up and then inflate it while it's...
Yeah, when it's up there. Have someone hold it up for you.
Yeah.
And that's for a bigger chimney, in fairness. You can get smaller
That's not
versions
too
of it.
bad.
So you would suggest this over an old pillow or a cushion?
Yeah. I didn't bring in a chimney with me now. I just got the doors today, so I couldn't bring much. But that's all. Just hold it up. Get someone to hold it up for you, and it'll seal that draft as well.
You could be there. You could be there the next
I know,
week.
I'm thinking of giving up on this. There's no chimney to put it.
Yeah, that's
wow.
it. Yeah, it's not that much.
There you go.
But, yeah, that's another handy one too. So that's really the outside of your house done. If you break it up into them sections, so that's outside done. Okay. So then when we move inside, then you have, say, your internal doors here. This means over here. These out of the way.
Do you need a hand with that, Martin?
Okay. So sometimes, like even in our internal doors, you can have little rattles in your door. That can create little drafts in between rooms as well.
Yeah. I've got one up in the attic.
Yeah.
That rattles a bit. Yeah.
So simple. So if you open your door like this and you see a receiver inside your door like that, and if you just get what's happening there is the door isn't closing tight against the frame. Okay. So if we open it like this, get our screwdriver, stick it in here like this.
Yeah.
And just bend that out. It's not a life hack or anything. It's designed that way. So I close that there now again. Oh, Janie, I'm putting it too far now.
You went a bit too far.
Yeah.
But it's all.
Oh, Janie. Live television. Give me 1 second.
Give it a kick.
Give it a second there now.
But this is good to see that you can fix that if it does go, if you feel like you've done it too far.
Of course. We'll show that again in a second. Yeah. So, but that's easy. It is. You bend out this here.
Just be a little bit careful.
Yeah. So that'll put your frame snug against your door again and stop that rattle. And same with the opposite way. If the door isn't engaging or closing properly, tap it back the other way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a little piece. It's designed to be bent, not that far, but that's the way it goes.
Well,
but and then internally then as well, another handy one is for your radiators. You know what I mean? So
I've heard this. Put foil behind them.
Yeah, it's there. It's a product. It's not. You don't have to get rolls of tin foil or anything. It's actually a product available now and goes in behind. If you think about the amount of heat that's been wasted. Just going back that way.
Yeah.
If you have something to reflect it back out again.
Wow.
Do you know, it makes a big difference. And pull your couch, if you have couches against your radiators, pull it out.
Pull them away,
Yeah, and it makes an awful.
Okay, can I just ask, because like there's two sides to tinfoil, so it's shiny side out when you put this on.
Yeah. And you can leave it nice down so you won't see it either. So it's designed for that. So it's very well done. But and then like get familiar with your heating system. You know what I mean? Don't kind of say, I don't know where the instructions of that are gone. You know what I mean? Go on to YouTube, it's all there. You see your exact one there and just get it set properly. If you're pressing the boost every evening...
Well, last night was the first night.
Yeah, but it is getting to that time of year. If you can set it well, it might take a couple of days to get it bang on and set it properly. And, you know, just so it's on an hour before you get up, water's going to be warm, house going to be warm. It doesn't need to be on again. Everyone's gone from the house most of the day anyway after that. Then click it on again for an hour and before you come home. Simple stuff like that saves you a fortune.
Yeah, look, we're heading into the winter. Our bills are going to go up, so we need to try and temper them as much as we can.
Yeah, big time.
That's a big help.
Yeah.
Thanks, Martin.
Thank you so much.
All right. If you'd like to learn more DIY hacks, head to the website diyacademy.ie for more from Martin.
Up next, we are going from one house to another as we preview the new season of Big Brother.
She's very excited.
Can't wait. See you there. You're very welcome back to Ireland AM. It is a big week for telly as tonight sees the Big Brother house open again for business.
Yes, and here to help us preview the new series and everything else coming to screens big and small this week is the actual model they used for the Big Brother eye. It's Cillian O'Sullivan.
Can you get a close-up on that?
That's the eye.
That's the eye.
Which eye was it?
It was this one. We
The good
auditioned
one.
this one, but then they went with the good one in the end.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
There's good money in it. And you get
yeah.
residuals then as well for the eye.
Every time you see the eye come up on screen,
you get
I get a few
it's like
bob.
Spotify, yeah. It's not massive money, but like once it all adds up.
That's it.
all
It's like
adds up.
I think it's like a 5 cent to go, and then keep an eye out for that.
Okay, Big Brother, that's not his eye, I don't think. Isn't it not just clearing that up?
I know whose eye it is, actually.
Do you?
Yeah, it was the girl. She was in like the. Oh, I was a big fan of hers. I don't know. She was one of the contestants anyway. One of the years.
No way.
They used her eye then.
And Paul Oakenfold did the track, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He's music producer. Yeah, he did make money off that. He's multiple houses bought off the back of it. But that's not what we're here to talk about this morning. It is back. We were talking off air, Brooke, and we all agree you would be an amazing contestant for this.
Yeah, we're great. Brooke is in it this year.
Yeah. This is the big reveal.
Surprise.
Brooke is going in live. Pack your bags.
Melanie Hill.
You have lied twice on TV.
Yeah. The contestant whose eye they used was Melanie Hill, and she was one of the contestants in one of the very first series.
There you go.
But tell me about this one though, Cillian, because I was glued to maybe the first 5 of the originals,
Yes.
and like a lot of people,
were.
we drifted, and then this came back then on it was on Channel 5 for a bit, and then it came back on ITV, and of course on Virgin Media 2 tonight. Is it different? Has it evolved?
Some criticism last year that it was a bit bland.
Yeah.
But there's a number of factors that you could say went into that. They were safer with the contestants they chose, because coming off the ITV, especially coming off the back of some of the controversy surrounding Love Island contestants, they were very cautiously approaching Big Brother. Yeah. And then also how they were editing it as well. They were afraid to make people baddies. We also remember Nasty Nick from the first season. You need those characters. You need, it is a TV show. It's a pantomime.
Yeah.
And I hope that this year they lean back into that. I hope with the audition process, they've gone for the people who you love to hate
more
to watch.
Confrontational.
Bit more confrontational.
I've heard they are with their casting. So
well, that'd be great, because the last thing you want is just a load of people sitting around agreeing with each other.
I know.
That's what Ireland AM is, right? Am I right? Yeah.
You are right, Ray. Yeah, you're so right.
Always right.
That's this show. We do
right.
this every morning. So, any leaks, any indication of who's going to be in it yet, or will we find it all out?
No,
tonight?
see, because it's not a celeb version. It's like I could tell you their names and it would mean nothing yet until they get on the. Oh, the hosts, the same two are back again. AJ and Will are back to host again. So yeah, look, it is the same format that, as long as they go back to the roots, which is a social experiment on people in an environment whereby it's not 10, 15 minutes where you can maintain a face and be nice and pleasant. It's all day, every day.
In
And
a
it's
small
people
room.
leaving their socks around. And it's all these little things that we live with at home with our loved ones. Imagine that with strangers. And it's all of that is heightened. So I just hope that this year, they lean into it being a little bit more dramatic and a little bit more of that. Because God knows they've got the right people. They've got the right producers. They've got the right people behind the scenes to make a show like this. So,
That is tonight on Virgin Media 2 at 9 o'clock. But tomorrow on Virgin Media 1, we have Real Life with Lucy at 9 o'clock.
I mean, this woman is becoming our very own Louis Theroux. She is, I've always said this before about Lucy, I would literally sit and listen to her read the phone book. I think she's so engaging on telly. And in this series, we've had her Living with Lucy series, which is really lighthearted. And, you know, she again gets to have this other side of these people that we would have known from their media perspective. But this series is a little bit different in that it's a 4-parter. It's more serious. It's a little bit more, the subjects that they're dealing with are a little bit more serious in that it's like she's dealing with the what's happening in the transgender community, with addictions, with scammers. And then her favourite episode is the one about mediums. And she actually gets her aura read. Wow. And did you know, this is a fact, Lucy has been, this is her 10th time being alive. And one of her former lives, she was a nun. She finds all this out on the show, and she loves it.
She was on 2FM for a bit as well, I think.
Previous life,
Did you just say this is a fact?
Well, I mean, in as much as a medium can be considered factual. Yeah. So this is the whole thing. And the medium that she kind of has on the show, she's got this incredible story as to what kind of got her into this otherworldly side of perspective. And it really is, it's a fascinating story. Is it coincidence or is it spiritual connection? Wow. That's where skeptics will come into play. But yeah, Lucy's the perfect vessel, I think, to be able to view these subjects through, because she brings that warmth. And as she says herself, she's not a hard-hitting journalist who's out to look for the twist. She's
but she's brilliant. And the way she can ask a question in a way that isn't going to be like that, like a journalistic or
just
that
like
kind of
Louis
thing.
Theroux, it's that kind of, you know, she gets what we need out of it.
She's Real Life with Lucy. Virgin Media 1 tomorrow night from 7 o'clock, worth sitting down for. Onto the streamers, there's been a lot of buzz about Cate Blanchett doing a TV show. Kevin Kline is in this as well.
I know. It's gas because they're not even calling it a TV series. They're calling it an event. It's a 7-part event.
This is disclaimer.
This is disclaimer on Apple TV. And we've often talked about Apple TV being that they don't release many series, but when they do, they're really solid.
Yeah.
And this, okay, I'm going to try and go as spoiler light as I can. James, one of the producers of the show, has seen some of this, and he's just like, this is a twist, a turn. It keeps you guessing. Every episode is like its own movie. Apparently amazing. She's an author, very famous, successful author. And then this, and everyone loves her, and she's got this great persona and everything else. And then this book appears at her door one day, and she starts reading it to realise that this is a book where she is the protagonist. And it's stuff that she has not told a single soul, but is becoming, you know, knowledge through this book, if it ever makes a print. All of this sort of stuff then goes, and then you start seeing that there's another side to her. Even if you just watch the trailer, the cinematography in this is beautiful. They use colour. There's warm tones in this scene, and then they'll cut to cool tones to kind of hyper reflect that duality of life that she obviously has been living for years. So this, I think, is going to be just visually beautiful to watch, thrilling to keep you engaged the whole way through. And again, have it like, if Cate Blanchett's signing on to this, it's not for the money. She's doing it because this is a passion project.
Apple tend to throw money at these things and then make sure that they work. That's called Disclaimer, Apple TV from Friday. We've got time for one more. Let's choose between Sweet Pea or Salem's Lot.
Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea. Salem's Lot movie hitting the cinemas, horror movie. Sweet Pea looks amazing. This is again, how do I sum this down to 30 seconds? A very unassuming serial killer, shall we say.
Lovely.
A girl who is just forgotten in her everyday life. People walk over or walk past or ignore her until one day she flips. And then she killed someone and realises that it was really, you know, it was actually quite therapeutic for her. And then she decides to make a kill list. And it's a dark comedy. So it's like, it is really, really good. And again, the stock that are behind this, the producers, same producers from Slow Horses and Apple TV, same producers that have done movies like The King's Speech. So there's good
We
stock
don't have
behind
much
it.
time. Thank you so much,
it's
Killian.
called
Sweet Pea, and it's
Sky
Now
Atlantic
TV.
on Now streaming on Now TV from Thursday. Killian, lovely to see you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Have a lovely Sunday.
Amazing.
Right, earlier on we got a taste of Mexico. We made some delicious entomatadas.
Entomatadas.
Here's how you can make them yourself at home.
Prepare the sauce by blending tomatoes, garlic, chilli, water and stock cubes and cook until it turns a deeper colour. Crumble feta cheese and leftover chicken into a bowl and mix with chopped onion. Take a warm tortilla and place a generous spoonful of the cheese, chicken and onion filling. Roll the tortilla and top it off with tomato sauce. Delicious. Lucy Kennedy was once a nun.
Was she? In a former life.
In a former
she was
life.
On,
she was
she used to be on the radio with Baz Ashmawi, and she used to do the 6 o'clock show with Martin King in a former life.
So many lives. Okay.
They exercise you out of her. Do they? I'm looking forward to watching that. Tomorrow night at 7.
They brought a priest in and they were throwing holy water everywhere. Thrown up green, you wouldn't believe it. Coming up tomorrow, former Munster rugby player Shane Leahy will be joining us for a chat.
Yes, and we're going to be sitting down with best-selling Irish author Michael Harding. He's always great crack. He'll be in tomorrow.
Plus, they are our prickly pals in the garden. Derek finds out how important it is to keep hedgehogs safe this Halloween season.
All that plus the latest Apple gadgets, and we've got a taste of India in the kitchen. Muireann, Tommy and Alan are back tomorrow from 7.
That's something worth looking forward to.
An eventful morning.
It has, yeah. It's been great. We're doing mispronunciations. And then
You did a real good one there at the end.
Posh enchiladas.
Entomatadas.
All right. Okay.
It's called the hook.
Enjoy your weekend.
Your Sunday.
From Ray, Brick and myself. Take care of each other.
What you call me?